What can we learn by following the prophet Samuel? A lot. Elkanah and Hannah wanted a son, and they prayed to the Lord. And Hannah finally promised the Lord that if he would send him a son, she would take him to the tabernacle, and he could serve the Lord there. And so it came to pass. And they named their son Samuel. Samuel was a fine boy, and he served well in the tabernacle. One day, he heard his name being called. He thought it was his supervisor. He said, "Did you call me?" "No." Then he heard it again. He tried again. "Did you call?" "No." And his supervisor said, "I think it is the Lord. Next time he calls, say, 'Speak, thy servant heareth.'" So Samuel did. And that changed his life forever. And later on, the Lord called him to be the prophet to the nation of Israel. It was not an easy job. For one thing, Israel wanted a king so they could be like the other nations. Samuel said, "No, you don't want to do that." But they ignored him. They wanted a king anyway. And so they chose their king, and soon they realized the truth of what Samuel had told them. Because Saul, the first king, started out as a humble servant of the people, but gradually he got more and more into himself until he was very unstable, even psychopathic. He hated David, the national hero, who was a boy with his sling, you remember, had killed the giant Goliath. And now he was a great hero. But worse than that for Saul, he was a better warrior than Saul was. And Saul couldn't take that. Finally, one day after a difficult time in battle, Saul committed suicide. And so David was anointed the king. But the same thing happened. The power of the office turned him to his bad side. He ended up committing adultery. And then to hide his sin, he had the husband of the woman with whom he had committed adultery, he had him killed in battle to try and hide his sin. The king thing didn't work well for Israel. Samuel was right. But through all this, Samuel himself stayed solid as the nation's conscience. He rebuked the powerful, and he helped the poor and the downtrodden, did all the things that a prophet is supposed to do. Among other things, the story of Samuel tells us this, that the Lord will speak to young people and to older people. He will speak to all of his children. He will speak to me and speak to you. He will speak to anyone who sincerely prays to him. We may not hear our voice spoken, our name spoken by the voice of the Lord, but we will feel his spirit, and we will know what he wants us to do. What a wonderful blessing, what a wonderful promise that is from the story of Samuel. And with that, we can endure the troubles and challenges the same way he did. And someday, then we will hear as certainly Samuel heard. Welcome, thou good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of thy Lord. Samuel was called as a boy to serve the Lord, and he served well. How can we prepare our young people to be ready to answer the call and to serve wherever and whenever the Lord needs them.
I kind of just think about all the stuff that I've learned in church and how I know it's true.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Okay. How do you know that it's true?
I just feel like it's true
Uh-huh.
when, like, I read the scriptures every night with my family,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, we take turns reading 2 verses, and I learn new things that I didn't really know before, because you miss things when you're reading because it's such a big book.
And so you read the scriptures with your family and you have feelings. Can you describe what those are when you read the scriptures?
Happy and kind of, I don't know, loved, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Do you ever feel like it's being forced on you, like I wouldn't do this, but my mother and father make me do it? You ever feel that way?
Sometimes.
Okay. What do you do about that?
Honestly, I say I'll do it later, and then I do actually do it later.
Okay. Okay. And so they give you some slack there. If you want to do it your way, they'll let you do it your way?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Let's see. I guess I kind of started thinking about a mission way back at the beginning of high school. I've always kind of had the mindset of just going on head first and having Heavenly Father direct me, and I want to share that with them. And even if they don't accept the gospel or whatever, as long as I leave with them a happier person, or with like a better knowledge of who they are, where they came from, or what they can be, and just like be an example to them, that'd make me happy. So I'm hoping that when I do go to Germany to teach people on my mission, I hope that I can be able to share that